Cameron Catrabone, my guy. Welcome to the 152 show, brother.
Yeah, let's go. Thanks for having me.
Of course, my guy. So, first thing I want to say is congratulations on an All-American finish.
Yeah,
at
thanks.
157 pounds.
Yeah, thank you.
How's that feel, bro?
No, it felt so good in the moment. I mean, I was so excited. I was I worked really hard this season and my whole life for this, and it's super cool.
And you did your little, what was that thing you did, bro? Tell us about that. What was that little dance you did?
Right. So I was in the hotel the day before, and Diego Sotelo, our 25-pounder, we were in the hotel, and I was hitting it in the hotel, and I was like, I mean, I still had 3 matches to win the next day to blood round or to All American, and I told him, I'm like, dude, I win the blood round tomorrow. I'm doing this little dance. I was like, then we're gonna party the whole weekend, and do this little dance the whole weekend, the whole week after.
Yeah, that was mad funny. I caught you too. You saw it. I put it on my story, bro. I caught you doing it, bro. And I said, yo, Cameron Catrabone. I said, yo, I caught that, bro. That was mad funny. Damn. So you're a freshman, correct?
A redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman.
No, yeah.
Okay, redshirt freshman, 157 pounds, 7th place finish.
Yeah.
That's legit, bro. Most people wrestle their whole college career, they don't get an All-American finish. You redshirt freshman already on the podium.
Yeah, just one match at a time.
Bro. What was there a highlight of that weekend? Like, what was your any moment that just stands out to you? Was it the actual blood round match? Was it something else? Or
I would say it's the blood round match. Yeah, that weekend. I mean, it was a big relief. It was a big relief, and every single match I had was a dogfight. Every single one. Like, there wasn't one match where I could had 1 second where I could sit there and breathe or hesitate. Like, every match was a ball busting scrap from start to finish. So
smoke all the way through.
Yeah, and that's I don't know if I've ever had a tournament like that in my life, but I went through the fire and came out an All-American. It's awesome.
That's that NCAA Division I energy, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, I came in thinking I was gonna maybe get a pin or two, or like get one match where everything goes my way. Like, usually that, and it did not happen, but I was still ready to fight and scrap.
And you were in the Big Ten conference too, so you at least, I mean, you probably wrestled a lot of the guys that were in the bracket already during the season.
Oh, correct? Yeah. I mean, there's probably over 10 guys that I wrestled that were in the NCAA bracket, but the way it panned out, I don't think there was anyone that, no, I had a couple of rematches. I think both the guys I lost to were guys that I lost to this season. We're actually both the guys I lost to at Big Tens, actually. That played out, yeah.
And then in the blood round, it was against Larkin, right?
Yeah, Caleb Larkin, yeah.
Caleb Larkin, funky guy.
Oh, I was so confused. I never watched him. I never watched him before. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. But you was hitting some funk too, though, bro, in that match.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've seen his dad wrestle, to be honest. Like, I used to watch like that, but I never watched like him or his older, or I don't know, his brother that's a 33.
He's got a brother, yeah.
They're good. They wrestle like they're foreign, they don't really.
Yeah. They got that flowy style, right? That
it was weird, but
a little shrug and stuff. Yeah,
the matchup's good for me. I wrestle guys like that, my whole life. And it worked out well. Yeah.
So, speaking of fathers, your father was a wrestler, correct?
Yeah. So
tell us about that.
Dad, he wrestled at Michigan from 93 to 98. Dad was also a 3-time All-American at Michigan. He had the pin record. He was a beast, man. If you watch him wrestle, we got some similar things and some similar moves. That bar tilt I hit in the blood round to win is one of his best moves, and I learned it from him. Okay. And to see it come full circle is, it's awesome. And our family was so excited, and it brought our family together, brought our friends together that moment, and it was cool.
That's fire, bro. 3-time All-American father.
Yeah.
So is your dad from upstate New York as well, or West New York?
My dad's from Erie, Pennsylvania. He's a PA guy. And then, went to Michigan, and we ended up in Buffalo, New York.
In Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
All right. So we brought that PA energy to Section 6.
Yeah. Honestly,
That's
yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
fine. I mean, you're not too far from the Pennsylvania border, correct? Like,
No, we're only,
nah.
from Erie, where he's grown up, we're only like an hour and a half, maybe, so family's still
Okay.
there. We go there all the time. When I was a kid, we'd go there like every weekend, so I was kind
Ah.
of a PA boy, and we'd go there for PA tournaments and stuff. So,
Mhm.
it's, yeah.
That's dope, bro. So I'm assuming you got into wrestling young because of your father?
Yeah, pretty young. I hated it though. Hated it. I
Yeah.
got into wrestling at like 5 years old or something, and then from like, yeah, I'd say 5 years old. I tried quitting so many times though, until I hit about eighth grades when I really started to realize,
Lock
all right, I'm
in.
a wrestler. I'm in a wrestling college. That's what I'm going to do.
Uh-huh.
About eighth grade's right around that time where I figured that out. So yeah,
Okay. So you're from the Buffalo area.
yeah,
What was like the youth programs that you were doing? Because I'm actually, I'm from all the way opposite side of the state, right? I'm a Long Island guy, so I'm not too familiar with the scene
yeah.
in Buffalo. So I'm actually curious. So what was it like, being a youth wrestler or club wrestling? What was that like over there in
Yeah.
Section 6?
Yeah, a great question. And it's not, it wasn't super structured. And now there's a way better system now, I'd say. And it still needs
Mm-hmm.
work, but at the time when I was young, I don't think my dad really knew for me like where to go when I was young. So I was 5 years old. I went to a local little kids club called Clarence Wrestling. It was like 15 minutes away. Coach Chase, who was an unbelievable coach, actually was the youth coach
Okay.
for that program. And he was like the head high school coach of Clarence. Um, They've had some great guys come out of there, but I was just a little kid. I didn't know. I thought, the
Yeah,
classic. I
you're
was
you're
there
5 years
thinking,
old, bro.
thinking I
It's
was
just
doing
having
this
fun.
stuff. I thought I was rolling into doing this stuff.
The WWE
you
facts.
know, yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, I did that, and then I started wrestling with Cobra, ran by like Keith Mowdy and Kevin Lucinski, and I can't even remember. But that's where like I made a lot of my friends, and I had
Mm-hmm.
that's where like I really started to actually wrestle hard, and I'd get my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get my butt kicked pretty bad, and then
Mm-hmm.
it turned into Jeff Prescott. Jeff Prescott, two-time NCAA champ, Penn State. He was unbelievable, small
Yeah,
guy.
he's a dog. He's a
Oh,
dog
yeah,
for real.
Prescott. Yeah, he ran a
Yeah.
club, or he opened up a wrestling. Actually, I can't say club. It was a wrestling school. Like it was a school, and you go into this school, and I'd be in there for 2 or 3 hours, and I wouldn't sweat. It was straight technique. All it was technique, and I wouldn't even sweat. It was
Mm,
crazy, and people didn't know
okay.
if they believed in it or not. Other people in this club, and me, my buddy Gavin Sharfella, Travis Hack, we stayed in it, and it worked out to an extent, right? I mean, the technique definitely. That's when I really like leveled up. After that, I became like a youth state champ. I started like, I
Mm,
won like tournament of champions and stuff. Like that's when I started doing
okay.
pretty good.
When
And
you were
then,
when you did the youth state championships, was Nightway a thing yet?
yep,
Or
Nightway all the way.
okay,
Yep,
okay,
it
Nightway.
was
Because
Nightway. I won Nightway.
when I wrestled in the so I graduated 2014 from high school. When I was wrestling, there was no Nightway.
What? Wait, I thought it started in
Yeah.
like 2011 or like 2012.
Yeah, so when I was in youth,
Oh,
I
gotcha.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that'd be like
2009,
08, 09. Yeah,
08, 09. So
yeah.
when I was there, it was just the USA Wrestling state championships.
Oh, yeah, because they
And
still had that. I would do both though. I would do both, but Naiwei was like everyone knew
the
Naiwei
tougher one,
was
right? Yeah,
yeah,
I hear
yeah,
that.
it was. Um, so yeah, I won Naiwei in fifth grade for the first time. It was such a big deal. Like I was so
Oh
happy.
yeah, no, that tournament's legit, bro. The youth state
Yeah,
championships. I used to get beat up over there, bro.
yeah. And
For
then
real.
sixth grade, I took fourth place at Naiwei, and my bracket was loaded. I took fourth. I lost to Casper Stewart in the semis. PJ Duke
Okay.
won, and then I lost to August Hibbler for third and fourth. Like those were like, and those us four were like killers on youth, like nationwide. Like we were real. It was a crazy bracket,
Mm,
and
that's
yeah.
fire.
And then
I love that.
the next year was when I started wrestling varsity for my high school. But I didn't like after my sixth grade year, I didn't know what like varsity wrestling. Like I didn't understand. I thought I was just doing Nightway forever. Like I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah.
I find out it's like varsity. Right? You can do it in seventh grade. And I weighed enough. I hit a little growth spurt. I
Uh-huh.
weighed enough for 99, and I ended up going all the way with it, and doing it all. And
Hmm.
it was like a wake up call. I was like, wow, these guys are strong. You're not wrestling 1-1-1 periods anymore, and then
Were you 99 your first year or what
yeah,
was it? It was in 99 when you started? Okay.
yep, 99 pounds, 99.
99.
and I didn't know what to expect. And I knew I was like technically better than these guys, and I was, I was slicker, and I knew what was
But
up.
it was the
Most of these guys
maturity. It was the strength, the maturity and strength.
the strength,
That's where they
like
had you.
wrestling guys with tattoos and armpit hair. I was like, I was like, what in the world? But I was, yeah, I actually wrestled at some like high school tournaments right after Niway, my 6th grade year, and had success.
Wow,
But
bro.
once that season started, I think I went 35-3 as in 7th grade, and then I won our section. I won sectionals in 7th grade. And I went to states and went 1-2. I lost first match to Gregor McNeil, which is crazy because he was, he was really good, like ranked in the country. And then his brother is Lachlan McNeil's brother, which is crazy.
Okay.
Lachlan ends up being my teammate this year, and we ended up All-American together, which is crazy. And now I beat Tyler Ferreira the next match in one of the most ridiculous matches.
I heard of him. Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, of course. And then I lost some. I can't remember, but I remember I was so upset after states. Like I had, and then from then on, my high school career specifically like took off, and I had success.
Yeah, that's super dope that you got thrown into the fire as a 7th grader.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, when where I went to middle school, they didn't allow you to move up for contact sports. So my first year wrestling, even though I was good enough to wrestle as a middle schooler, I won the youth state championship too as an 8th grader. But my school didn't allow me to move up for contact sports. So
so you couldn't wrestle high school till 9th grade?
Till 9th grade. My first high school season was as a freshman, and I wrestled.
Fight for that? You couldn't fight for that?
I mean, maybe I could have, but we just said it is what it is. Like they used to allow me to come up and wrestle with the high school team, but I couldn't compete. Like I would go to the practices and practice, but I couldn't compete with them.
Yeah, so that's weird. Interesting.
Exactly. It was, it is what it is, but you getting that experience as a 7th grader, bro. That's
life changing. It was
like life changing. It's a gem, bro. It's immeasurable the amount that it helps you out because you see the competition.
Yeah, that 7th grade year, like I think that might have been arguably like the craziest year of my life. Just like with stuff going on, like then you get all this attention suddenly. It's like 6th grade, you win, and dad goes and buys you, a Happy Meal, and it's the best. But 7th grade, and then it's like I win, and it's like I get like little interviews. I'm in the newspaper. I'm like, what? Like I didn't know this was a thing. Like I didn't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it was like the craziest thing.
So 7th grade state qualifier, and you won your section, right? So 8th grade, did you get on the podium at states?
Yeah, actually, I won the section again, and then I took 6th place at states in the craziest way. Like I had a match against Dante Regal. I was losing by like 6 points, and I was on top, and I hit like a roll through half and pinned him in the 3rd period to place.
That's crazy. Now, when you at that time, was it still only up to 6th place, or was it 7th and 8th at that time?
It was the first year of 7th and 8th. It was the first year.
Your 8th grade year.
Yeah, my first year of 7th.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So you took 6, came back in a crazy match with a roll through. What you said? It was a half.
Roll through half. It was
roll through half. Boom, little crab ride action. You know what I mean?
It was from like a mat return position almost.
Oh, okay. You probably tried to Granby with the half. You never do that, bro.
I think so. Actually, yeah. It was wild.
Okay. Wow. So then, so 8th grade, all state. Are you a 6-time section champ?
Yeah, I'm the first ever in New York history. The only one.
Wow, bro. 6-time section champ, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Section 6. And you're Division 1, correct?
Yeah.
You're Division 1. There's not a lot of Division 1 schools in Section 6, right? Is it more D2 dominated, you would say?
No, it's I'd say it's even.
It's pretty even? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So 6-time section champ. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And then so 8th grade, all state. How about 9th grade?
9th grade, COVID hits. So I'm like, we didn't know if we'd have a season. We had no clue. So Polizio sets up that state tournament in PA, and it was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. It worked out well. I took 3rd. I lost to Steve-O Poulin in the semis.
Okay. That's a dog right there.
Oh, it was, yeah. I lost like 13-7 or something. It was a good match, and a fairly good. I was just young and like hesitant, and I didn't fully believe in myself yet. Wrestled back hard, took third, beat Caden Bellis for third. You know, I think I was probably the second best guy in the bracket, but the way the bracket panned
how it
out,
is, where you end up.
that's how it works. That's how it
Facts.
works. But regardless, I got to wrestle hard, and I wrestled my ass off that tournament, and that's when I started to feel better about it. And then I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I go to Virginia Beach, NHSCA, and my dad told me to do it. He's like, "You'll put yourself on the map here." And I went and I was unseeded and I won the whole tournament. And I had some great wins.
Okay, so you won. So you won Virginia Beach freshmen.
Freshman. I won the freshman division. If you look at this freshman bracket, it was crazy. It was nuts. If you
I
look at the
believe
guys
it,
in this
bro.
bracket, and that was like the first time I was like, wow, like all this hard work that I'm finally starting to work hard, and it's like a drug. Like you just can't get enough of it, and you're winning
Yeah,
this and
yeah.
that. And then so at that point we've had no season yet. We've had zero wrestling season yet, and it's May, and suddenly we get a call, whatever. Boom, season's on. We got a 3 or 4 week season. We're having dual meet every other day. We're like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And we end up getting a little season. And at the end, we get sectionals. We get a section tournament, even though it's not a state qualifier. We get a section tournament. So I'm like, oh my god, like I'm going to be able to be a 6-time section champ. I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh, that would have been messed up if that ruined it for you to be the 6-time
I got like
champ because of COVID.
12 matches that season. Went 12-0. And got my section title, and I beat Gage LaPlante in the finals of the sectionals, and we're so
happy. Griffin LaPlante's brother?
Sorry?
Is that Griffin LaPlante's brother?
Gage was a beast. He wrestles at West Point right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fire, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, that whole COVID situation, that was such like a crazy thing, bro. Imagine you were a senior, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were a freshman. So, like, for you, I mean, obviously it would have sucked no matter what. But for you, if you didn't get that freshman year, it's like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'll come back next year. But, like, if you were a senior and you trained so hard, you're like, yo, this is my year. I'm going to be a state champion this year. And then COVID hits, bro.
But that was the reality. That was the reality for a lot of people, I know. That was the reality.
It's crazy. And then the NCAAs, too. But they gave those guys the extra year, which is dope.
No, but not the seniors. The guys who were finished up, like Colin Moore, that was it for him. Boom, done.
Oh, you're right. It was only the people from, like, if you were a junior, you got that extra year.
If you were a junior, you got next year and another one. Or no. Yeah, and another one.
Yeah, they gave you a COVID year. That's how Carter Starachi became a 5-timer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Crazy.
All right, so boom. So freshman year, COVID season, but you win the Virginia Beach Nationals as a freshman. So that I'm sure that probably mentally that was probably like switch to say,
mentally
I could compete on a national level. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs that big win. You need a big win to or big tournament win to kind of be like, yo, like I really do belong here. You know what I'm saying? Like I should be here.
Exactly.
So, okay, so that's dope, bro.
And that happens, and I was or after the season, whatever. I end up like thinking, I want to keep wrestling. I didn't know. And then my dad talks to me about Fargo. I'm like, Fargo. I never done freestyle before. Right. And it doesn't match my style well, but I was like, dude, let's do it. I was like, let's just
why not, bro?
I was like, let's go. But I didn't do the New York State tournament or the Northeast regionals or anything. Like it was too late. And my dad's like, here, we'll make this work. And somehow we figured it out. And I got on the New York team, and I'm wrestling at Fargo, and it was a crazy experience. And I went like 7-2 and lost in like the blood rounds, and I was winning the match 6-0, and I just started letting this guy dictate the match, and it was the most heartbreaking match. Like I was so upset. Like I was so
bro, just hearing that out loud is crazy. You went 7-2. You won 7 matches.
Yeah,
and you still didn't place at Fargo, bro. You know how crazy that sounds?
I did it twice. I did the next year too.
What other tournament can you win 7 matches in and still not place?
Super 32.
Like, those are the only 2 tournaments. Like, that's
Yeah.
bananas to me, bro. You can win 7 matches and still not place, bro.
Crazy. But I after that loss, I can't remember what the guy, and I was so upset. I was like my mind. I've never been that upset over a loss. Maybe in youth when I don't win a ginormous trophy or something, but like different. Like I worked my ass off, whatever. And then after that tournament, I remember writing down to myself, I was like, I'll never be the same wrestler. I was like, I'm never gonna be the same wrestler. I was like, I'm not gonna let that happen again. Where, I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen again. I was so upset. Like I can't even explain. I was like so upset. Like I didn't even talk on the plane ride home. Like I was ridiculous. And then after that, I didn't stop. I just started grinding like crazy hard, like all the time. Like I like killed my social
crazy
life,
off season work, bro. It was like
everything. Like it was
locked
like,
in.
I literally was peaking for like Super 32 is what I was doing. And I was training with Kellen Devlin every day. And me and Kellen were
He's a dog too,
Kyle
from
McGregor,
Amherst, right?
and the little plants. And I would go in every day and I would ask them every day to wrestle to the point where I was like beating the shit out of my body. I was like trying to wrestle every day. Like I didn't understand like recovery and stuff.
Yeah, you got to
And
rest
Kellen
sometimes.
was like telling me, he's like, bro, you can't wrestle every day. I'm like, what do you mean? Like we would just go in and wrestle. Like we would go in, we'd roll into the plants barn and wrestle and just scrap for like an hour and a half every day. And I was doing that and working so hard. And I had a great stretch from late August until Super 32. And I went into Super 32 like unranked in the country. I think I was like, I was doing well at these other tournaments, but I was like the 13 seed or like the 14 seed, maybe even the 15 seed, like I was in nationals. And Super 32 is where I wanted to make my money, And
Super 32 is legit, bro. You place there, that's like Fargo. You place there,
crazy. I was unranked in the country. I win a match or two. I lose in like the round of 32 or the round of 16 to this guy named Zeke Seltzer, who was ranked 4th in the country. He was tough as nails. And I lost like 6-4 or something. And I'm like, damn, whatever, time to wrestle back. And I win. I keep winning these matches. I win like 3 or 4 in a row. And I find myself in the blood round. I'm like, here we go. We're here. Like,
this is it right here. Yeah.
I had Emilio Isagiri or something. He was ranked 3rd or 2nd in the country. And I was just this like unranked, whatever, like sophomore. And this guy was committed to Arizona State. And
was he a Cali guy?
Arizona, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe Cali, actually. I don't know. But
no, I'm not sure. I feel like I heard that name before. But
and I'm wrestling him and I beat him 1-0. I was Super 32 placer. I was so happy. I was like screaming, I was so pumped. I was like,
let's go.
I almost got kicked out of the tournament for screaming, fuck yeah. Next match, Eli Rivera from he goes to Princeton now, but he was at Lake Island Prep. He's still ranked like top 10 in the country. I beat him, and then I wrestle Seltzer, the guy who beat me earlier. And I remember before the match, Joe Warren, one of my dad's old teammates, Greco world champ, but he's like an uncle to me, like family to me. Is like he's like, he goes, Cam, he goes, how about you just give it to this guy? He goes, how about you just give it to him? He's like, how about you just wrestle hard the whole match? And I was like, let's just do it. I was like, let's go. And I beat his ass pretty bad. I beat him like 13-2 or like 13-3. The guy that beat me the day before at the tournament. And then I was like, holy smokes, like here we go. We're rolling into this 3rd place match. Suddenly, like it was crazy. Like I was never been on such a hot streak in my life the way I was wrestling.
It's crazy.
And then 3rd place match, I give up like 3 takedowns within 30 seconds. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what's going on? Like this guy's hitting the same move on me. I shut him down, fireman's carry, tilt him. Then it's tied late in the match, and I took him down to win the match. Took 3rd place at Super 32 as a sophomore, unranked in the country. Legit. My life changed forever since then on. It was crazy. It was nuts.
That's an insane tournament, bro.
Yeah.
That is like people don't understand how hard it is to wrestle back.
It was nuts.
You know what I'm saying? Like to wrestle back, especially in a tournament like Super 32, bro, where literally every single person that you're wrestling is some sort of state something, right? State champ, state second.
All state champs. I think
everybody's state champ, or at least they took top 3. You know what I mean? Like Super 32 is that type of tournament. And like, and as a sophomore, that's impressive, dog. Like, that's crazy. Legit. I'm sure after that, did you get a national ranking after that?
Yeah, I was ranked 3rd in the country after that.
Ranked 3rd in the country.
Right. I went from unranked, ranked 3rd in the country, and then a week later I committed to Michigan.
Oh, so that it was like everything was like
that was it.
It was like bang, 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 right, back to back to back.
That was it. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Both I went to the Super 32 one time my senior year, and our tournament is very similar. I took 3rd also.
Oh wow,
yeah. And I lost in the quarterfinals
Yeah.
to the champion, though. He was a 4-time Ohio State champion, Ironman champion. And then after that, I had to wrestle like, I think it was like 5 matches, I think, something like, because I made it a little bit further because it was the quarters. I had to wrestle like 5 matches.
Yeah.
And I was wrestling like Blood Round was like a national prep second placer. Then it was like a Virginia Beach, New Jersey third. Then it was like then I wrestled the 3rd ranked kid in the country from Florida, Fox Baldwin. And then after that, it was like a Virginia state champion and like Fargo finalist from Virginia. So it was like, bro, I know. It's like once you get into that zone, bro, and you start winning like back to back to back, bro, it's like there's no better feeling, bro. Yeah. And then same thing. My national ranking like skyrocketed after the Super 32.
That's it.
So mine was as a senior, yours was as a sophomore.
Yeah. That's where dreams are made, though. I mean, that tournament is it's crazy. Bro.
So okay, so now you took 3rd as a sophomore. Yeah. That leads you in because it's preseason, so that leads you into the season. So how did your sophomore year go?
So I got big after Super 32, and I wanted to stay at 32 for some reason for Powerade. And I go to Powerade, and I lost in the semis to Mac Church, and I was so upset about that one too. That one I was very upset. Like maybe.
So your school, so you were traveling in season. You were going.
Oh yeah, Powerade. Me and my dad. We didn't want to slow down. We didn't want to fall into that trap of like staying in New York. And only New York guys. Like we didn't want to
say it louder, bro. Yeah, say it louder for the people in the back, bro. I've been talking about this like crazy, bro. Like New York, we need to travel out of state more. So I love that you were doing that, bro.
Yeah. And well, I took 3rd there. So I mean, still, regardless, 3rd at the Powerade, it was a good result. You know, I was happy I was able to wrestle back because I was so upset after I lost. You know, I wrestled back, took 3rd, beat some good guys. You know, whatever, dropped from like 3rd to like 4th in the country, like whatever. And then I go to states, and I wanted to win a state title. I haven't won states yet. And I'm all the way up at 145 for states. I go from 32. I realized I was cutting too much. I go all the way up to 145 for the state tournament. And I'm in the semis, and I take a shot. I'm wrestling Anthony Canetta from Massapequa.
From Massapequa, yep.
I take a shot.
By me.
Within 15 seconds, I take a shot, and his chin hits the back of my head, and I go flying back. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what in the world? And my dad grabs me, and he's like I don't have memory of the match, or nothing. And he's like, you're gonna get kicked out of this match. Like whatever. And I'm like, all right, like let's wrestle. I'm like, let's wrestle. And I can't remember, but it was like I lost the match like 2-1, but I don't like remember the match. Like that was it.
Because you were dazed, bro.
Oh, I was out concussed, you know. And I'm in the back, and I like kind of remember being in the back. I was just acting like an idiot. Like I was so out of it. But so many emotions were going through me at the same time that I'm just acting like crazy. Like it was ridiculous. And they had to pull me out of the tournament. It took 6th, and I was so upset. And you know, I was like, go back home.
Face some adversity that year.
Oh my God, yeah. And it was like big time. And then a couple months later, I wanted to go. So my season ends. I wanted to make the world team. I go to Vegas for the U17 World Team Trials, and I wake up in the morning for the tournament. And for some reason, I have shingles all over my neck, like shingles.
Shingles as a 10th grader, bro. That's crazy.
Bro, I think it was the COVID vaccine. Like actually, like I think it was like something like that. Like I get shingles all on my neck, and then I had to drop out of the tournament. I'm like, dude, I can't get a break, so I'm missing so much school. I missed 2 or 3 weeks because of my concussion. Then I missed 2 or 3 weeks because of that, and I fall behind in school because I'm missing all this stuff for this dumb like bullshit that just should not be happening, you know. And I was like, God, like why is this happening to me right now, you know? And then I go back and I go to Fargo, and I go like 7-2 at Fargo, and I don't even place. Like I was like the same exact thing, and I was just so upset. And I was like trying to like come back mentally. I was like, dude, well, like nothing's working out for me really. I go to Super 32 that October. I lost first round in like the round of like 256 or something. I'm like, bro,
this is after taking 3rd the year before.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad tells me, I'm like sitting down in the back, and I'm like, Dad, I'm done. He's like explaining to me. He's like, Cam, he goes, you have like choices in your life. Like you have like there's points in your life where you have to decide, like, are you gonna go like fight? Like you can go fight right now and give it like, your best.
Yeah.
And whatever. And you have like an option right now to either be a pussy or to go like you know, because you're gonna remember that. Like I'll remember this forever until I'm like a
till you're
grandparent.
old,
You know?
till you're old and in that rocking chair, bro.
Yeah, and I decided, I was like, you know, whatever, let's go. And I won, I think like 10 or like 11 matches in a row, like something crazy. And then ended up placing, and my body's so banged up. I mean, my eyes are like shut. Like I had a hematoma on the back of my head, and I still can feel like the scar tissue from it. And it was like this big. And I was wrestling, and I ended up taking 6th place, and I lost at like my last 2. But it was, for me to place after that was like huge for
After
me.
losing first round, that's crazy,
Yeah, I
bro.
lost like, you know, I actually might have lost second round, the round of 128 or something like ridiculous. The amount of matches I had to win was unbelievable. And then, yeah, come back, took 6th, and then I started to like elevate my wrestling. I started to wrestle like smarter, better, and I ended up taking 2nd at Powerade. I took 3rd at Beast of the East, and then in all matches I should have won too. Both the losses I
You were
took.
right there. You were right there.
They were both overtime losses at both those tournaments. And then time for the state tournament again. Time to finally make it happen. I'm at 145 again, and I win, and I get over that semifinal hump, whatever. I'm in the finals, and, you know, it was a tough match. I ended up hitting that little roll through half and pinning the kid in the second period. And
who'd you wrestle?
Renzo Montalvo from Section 2, I believe. He beat someone pretty tough in the semis as well.
Section 2. Okay.
Besides the point. And then I took off. So actually, the year of my sophomore year, I told Kellen, I go, I'm going to win the state title, and I'm going to hit a shoey, and it's going to be sick. I'm like, it's going to be awesome. I told my sophomore year, and obviously that didn't work out. So my junior year, everyone forgot about it. Everyone forgot I even said that. And I'm on the mat, and I'm like, give me your shoe. I'm like, Muskie, or my head coach. I go, Muskie, give me your shoe. He's like, what? And I'm like, fuck it. And I take off my own shoe, and I had a bottle I had ready, and I poured it into the bottle, and I did a shoey on the mat because D2 match is still going on because I pinned the guy. So it was
I'm
everyone's
dead,
like, what
bro.
the fuck is he doing? Like, what's going on? And I did that, and suddenly it was crazy. I was posted like on everything. I was posted on like Barstool, ESPN, like all that stuff.
Like, yo, look at this dude drinking water out of his sweaty ass
so
shoe.
Stupid. It was so stupid. I was on like I was on like an emotional high, like, just from, you know, the success and whatever. I took a family vacation in Mexico, and some guy recognized me from the shoey. Like,
he's like, yo, you're the guy who's drinking out of the shoe.
Yeah, I was another wrestler, but he goes, did you do the shoey? I was like, yeah. I was like, what? And he was a wrestler, but whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
yeah, and it was and from then on, I didn't go to Fargo. I went to Virginia Beach, went undefeated at Virginia Beach, the duels, and then went to Super 32 again. And
as a senior,
but my stock was up that time. I was the 2 seed, and I took 2nd. I lost to Melvin Miller in the finals.
Okay, he's a dog.
He was a freshman. I was like, who is this guy, bro? I was like, who is this dude? I was so
upset. But he's not your regular freshman.
Nah, but I didn't. There's so many things I could have done different in that match too. I lost by like a takedown, and then from then on, I never lost again. Oh no, I did. I went to Eastern States, and I actually went up a weight. I could have went 52, but I wanted Griff. Me and Griff both wanted to win, and I was wrestling. I had PJ Duke. And I texted PJ the week before, I think, or maybe I did. I think I texted him, and I was like, yo, you going 160? And I was like, whatever. I was like, I'll go 160. And I lost to Duke 2-1 in actually a really close match. And that was my only loss from then on.
And then you won another state title.
Yeah.
So 2-time state champion.
Yep. Yeah.
Dope. That is, 2-time New York state champion. That's legit. I don't care what nobody got to say. You know what I mean?
It was a wild ride.
That's super legit. So, talking about PJ Duke, talk about because we have 3 minutes left here. I want to talk about that match that you had with PJ Duke in the dual meet, because that was a scrap, bro. You guys were going at it. Talk about that match.
Yeah, well, PJ, he's very good, very arguably like the best guy, and he could be. Some people say he's the best guy in the world, and I just before that match, I decided I'm not going to back down at all. I was you can watch the second the whistle blows in that match. I didn't take a back step. I stepped. So I just decided I was going to attack him and just wrestle him like almost anyone else. And it was a great match, and all I had to do was shut him down for 30 seconds, and I hesitated, and I gave up the takedown, and
No.
It would have been a great win, but regardless, it was a fun match.
That's what it is, you know. You know what it is, and you being from New York also, and you wrestling him a couple of times before that, that's probably why you didn't show him any respect. You know what I mean? Because you know him. Somebody who never wrestled him before.
Friends. I stayed at his house in middle school. Like we know each other well.
That's what I'm saying. So you can wrestle him as a, you know, it's like someone who never wrestled him before, they might be like, oh, this is PJ Duke here, but like you've seen him when he wasn't at that level. You know,
100%.
so you exactly. So
and I know he knows we know each other's styles and matches. You know, it's a fun. I hope it was a fun match. I thought it was.
I'm telling you, as a viewer, it was a fun match. But I'm telling you, I watched it. I was like, "Oh, this is fire! This is like," and it was proud for me. It was, you know, as a New York guy, I was proud to see it was two New York wrestlers scrapping. You know, like high level wrestling, bro. So that was fire, bro.
100%.
So, wow. So seventh place finish in the NCAA this year.
Yeah.
You had how many matches did you win to take 7?
4, and then I had a forfeit my last one, so 5.
Okay, you had a forfeit. And at what round did you lose at in the winners bracket?
Round of 16, I lost to
round of 16.
Nebraska.
Oh, to Antro.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, you ain't even close to done though, bro.
No.
You got 3 more years, brother.
In November, I got teched by Antrell, and then we wrestled at the Nationals, and it was 1-1 with like a minute left, and he got a weird little takedown, and I lost 5-3. So it was, you know, I could have.
I mean, it shows you right there. You're closing gaps. You know what I mean?
I covered a lot of ground this season, like crazy amount of ground. So
wow. So what are the off-season plans?
Train hard, fix some things. You know, I want to become more of a monster on top, get fundamentally good, or fundamentally better. You know, stay tough mentally. Get stronger, get more flexible, and you know, just beside that, you know, I had to make a decision that I'm wrestling for a bigger purpose than, you know, this and, you know, being the man and you know, these awards and, you know, the results. You know, I decided to wrestle for like a bigger purpose, and that's why I had a good result at Nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yo, Cam, thank you for coming to the 152 show, bro. It was a pleasure having you, talking, getting to know you, telling your story. Everybody in New York is going to be watching this, and you know, you're motivating the next generation of New York wrestlers to, you know, to keep getting better, to keep wrestling hard, and you know, let's keep the pipeline going, and you know, you're part of that. Damn, the recording cut off. 152 show, Cameron Catrabone. He's a dog, he's a beast. New York strong, representing, and that's what it is. 152 show, ladies and gentlemen.